Coming to you live from the city that don't play no games. Just waiting on the verdict. Fuck your trials and your tribulations, ain't nothing gon' change. Till we reach the verdict. I know you've been deliberating on this for so long. Here goes the verdict. I bring you the verdict. And here goes the B-E-R-D-I-C-T. B-E-R-D-I-C-T. The B-E-R-D-I-C-T. The B-E-R-D-I-C-T.
I want to welcome everybody back to the What's the Verdict show, episode 7. It's only right that I got.
Oh, we recording?
No, go ahead. It's only this nigga burnt out. It's only right that I got this guest on episode 7. Let me tell y'all a little bit about this person that's sitting across from me. He kind of like the reason that I got into, I would say, the industry like professionally. First person that took me to the studio, knocked on my door, asked my mama, if it was alright if I could come to the studio, record with him. Sold me my first car. When I was going through some shit, like, with industry shit and life shit, he been there for me for sure, like, especially when it came down to advice with my kids or my baby mamas at the time, whatever the case may be. Took me under his wing, showed me how to perform, stayed on the stage with me 10 years deep into the shit because how uncomfortable I was on the stage by myself. He took me, was my hype man. You get what I'm saying? Said I stole his producers.
True.
This is my brother, E-Class. What's up, my good brother?
I think we need that Trink Champs horn on this motherfucker, man. That shit was just a lovely intro, bro. I think I might just take you on tour with me and just do that right there, nigga. Nigga, matter of fact, all the credit you just gave me, I should have a check coming from your motherfucking ass, nigga. Shit.
What's going on, bro?
Shit, bro. What's good with you,
What's
man?
new, man? Like, what's going on with you? What's all the times we missed? What's going on?
Oh, shit. Boy. We missed a lot of time, huh?
Yeah, so
Been a minute, huh?
we started at the resolution.
Resolution dropped.
Till now.
That came out during the pandemic.
Okay.
If you ain't got it, go get it. I don't know which camera I'm in, but I'm going to be in this one tonight. So if you ain't got it, get it on all your major digital platforms. But I put Resolution out.
Mm-hmm.
Shot probably, just about every video I can shoot on it.
I heard you editing now.
I'm editing now. I'm directing now. You know
Okay.
what I mean? Shit, man. I'm Baby X around this motherfucker, man. You better know.
Baby X?
What's his name? Lil X? No, what's the director name? Hype Williams?
Won't you just be Benny Boom Jr. or something?
Oh,
Lil
I thought
Benny
it was okay. I got the names mixed up. Ain't it a director with X name in it?
Yeah, I thought it might be Lil X.
Nah, that ain't. We got that. We're not gonna use that name. No.
What about
Benny Boom was cool though.
Hype Williams?
Hype. I thought it was Hype X, but nigga, it's Hype Williams. There you go. So no, but I'm trying it, man. I'm trying to combine niggas, so I guess I'm on some old hybrid shit.
Tell me something about your new single, Self Medicated.
Just shot the video for it. Shot out the N6 Exposures.
Mm-hmm.
It's off my new EP, Class in Session.
I like that.
Volume 1.
like
I'm
that.
actually part of a series. A Class in Session mixtapes or EPs. I don't like doing mixtapes, never have. But Self-Medicated is just about me being self-medicated. I mean, self-explanatory.
Who produced it? Who produced it?
My guy, my favorite producer, although he's an asshole sometimes, I love him. DA the Don, man. That's been my main producer for the past since my first album, bro. Like he's been my in-house producer. You know what I mean? So we got a sound together. We do it. We sound great with it. You know what I'm saying? And it's dope.
Yeah, I definitely do. The only producer I didn't steal, allegedly.
Allegedly.
So take me back to the beginning, bro. Like, how did your love for music come about?
Oh wow.
Or was that like the first thing that you was interested in?
Man, I guess actually it was the first thing I was interested in. My daddy was in the game back in the 80s. Shout out to Pops. He's still in the game now, doing his gospel thing now.
Shout out to Pops.
So me seeing him doing that back then, you know, as a youngin', you know, inspired me. Always wanted to know what was going on. I just always had an ear for music. My grandfather always had me around music. Used to take me to a lot of jazz concerts or whatever. And we used to kick it like that, man. And like, as I got older, I mean, it just started being a natural, man. Like before I even was listening to rap, I was rapping. Like,
okay,
you know what I mean? Like I was young, like in elementary school. You know what I mean? Like you heard a glimpse of it, but mama wouldn't let you buy no tapes back then. You know what I'm saying? So you only heard what you heard through your big brothers or your big cousins or whatever. If they was slapping something in they little old school or something, you caught whiff of it. And just me with old school music, period, because that's all that was played in my house, is what really turned me on, just the music, the melody of it. You know what I mean? So, you know, I caught on to it, man. I remember I was like elementary school. I probably shouldn't tell this story, but it was elementary school. And I had to be, 4th, 5th grade. And me and my homeboy C-Wop, man, you know, they call him Chuck Daly now. But I gave him the name C-Wop back in the day because he didn't know how to have a rap name, so I gave him one. Right. But we did a rap about the cat test. Back then, you had to take the cat test. I just show my age. I shouldn't have said that shit, right? But back then, you had to take the cat test, right? And so we did a rap about the cat test, right? And motherfucker had some whiskers on his face and a tail. You feel me? Like a cat.
When I thought of cat test, I instantly thought of pussy. Wow.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm that young.
You that young. Cat test in 5th grade.
I think by the time
pussy.
I started doing pussy. People was getting pussy in 5th grade, but or at least finger popping. But I think we was taking like the mat test or meat test by the time I got. But finish telling me about y'all cat and whiskers.
But I did the cat. Man, no, I did that. You know, and all the little girls, you know, the little gangs, they was loving that shit. You know what I mean? They was like, ooh, you know. And that was when I found out I had a niche for this shit. You know.
Okay.
And you know, it just continued to grow from there. And by the time I was 15. I had my own studio and my old dude built for me. I had a single out. By the time I was 16, my first single in high school, pressed up. You know, I was signing autographs. You know what I mean? I nigga thought he was on to something, man. Like, you know, back in Osborne where I went, you know, performing for the band. And when that band was playing, they had me a breakdown. I was performing live. Went to Mardi Gras, performed live in Mardi Gras. Every time Al Nuke or Trick came to the school to perform, I was opening up for them. My talent shows was like the woo, nigga. Like I had the dopest rappers in the school, all in one crew.
What was the name of your group? It was
Man, ML. It was Mad Lyrical Click. It was okay. Hold on. Okay, let me go back. At first, it was Gamers, right? But I couldn't get with that shit, right? So I had to come up with my own shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I came up with my own shit. It was Mad Lyrical Click. You feel me? And then that was that for a minute. And I think like by the time I was a senior, I was signed to Mob Life.
Okay, slow down.
Okay, yep. Let me slow down. Where you want to?
So was this before or after you met Trigger?
Ooh, damn. Okay, Trigger.
Shout out to Trigger.
Trigger been my homeboy since 7th, 8th grade. We went to middle school together.
Okay.
We was always in class together. Me and my nigga used to rap back and forth with each other.
So Trigger was rapping back then?
Trigger was rapping, used to tell me he can rap. So I remember when I first got my studio, I had to go over Trigger, just like you. I had to go over Trigger house. I had to beg his mom and his daddy. Can he come to the studio? You feel me? And
you had to beg my mom, but
you know what I'm saying? But I had to beg him to come. Can he come to the studio and rap? Because they ain't want him rapping, you know. And I said he gonna make a song. It's gonna be dope. We gonna be rich and all that shit. You think when you young, thinking you crisscross back then, and shit like. And they said yeah. Took him to the studio, man. We made a song. You feel me? We started rapping, and that's how me and Trigger started clicking up. Because actually, before him, I was actually in a group called USG.
Okay.
That was the group I actually made my first single with. And we had a single called Got It Locked.
USG. I think I was listening to Blood Before Betrayal earlier, and I think you said something about that on the song Blood Before Betrayal. I think you said something about USG days or something like that.
Yeah, on the skit. You feel what I'm saying? When we was talking about that. And that's my homeboy Chuck and Juan, man. And shout out to them. And they was all older classmen, you know what I mean? Like, Chuck was 2 years older than me. Juan was a year older. So every year, one of them was graduating until I became just me in my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
But that was like the rap group as far as we were signing my dad label back then. And, you know, that was the start of it. And then, like I said, once they was on some real Wu-Tang shit, big words and shit like that, and
it's the physical,
yeah, that type of shit, man.
Snap the neck on you.
And they wanted to spit that type of shit and wear suits at the same time. Like, nigga, we Diddy now, nigga. Like, I don't. So, like, I can remember doing a show at the WIA hall where at that time that's where all the high schools used to have their little icebreakers at or whatever. Everybody I played football with and went to school with, everybody from my hood there. And I come in this bitch with a royal blue ass suit on. Cause I didn't let these niggas convince me to come rap in a fucking suit. You feel me? So they in suits, we all in suits, everybody else in regular clothes and shit, and we all in suits. My daddy fly as hell in suit, but he an old nigga, so he can get away with the shit, you know what I mean? And so, man, by the time we got to performing, man, you know, I guess this was like the start of my stage performance.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I took off every goddamn piece of that goddamn suit I had on. You feel me? Like, except for the goddamn pants, dog. I even had some motherfucking white ones I put on. I had a beater under my dress shirt, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, I ended up going to the gas station at the corner and got a white tee and put that shit on, bro, and got down. You hear me?
So, go ahead. And
that was just that, man. Like I said, that was just the beginning of, you know, of me starting my whole little
rap clip.
Yeah.
So, if I'm not correct, your neighborhood's high school is Persian, right?
Yep.
But you end up going to Osborne.
Yep.
How did that happen?
Played for the Eastside Cowboys.
Okay.
Shout out ESC.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And everybody that's played for the Cowboys was going to Persian.
Right.
And that's my hood. And I just knew that if I went there, it was going to be a whole lot of smoke in the city.
Right.
And I wanted to make sure I graduated.
Okay.
So I decided I'd go down the street to Osborne. Plus, Osborne heavily recruited me with football. So I felt like that's where I wanted to go. End up going there and knowing every motherfucking body there, so it wasn't no goddamn different. But, you know, I enjoyed that shit, you know what I mean? Because, you know, it helped me just get away from the hood and expand and know more people in different places and different areas. So that was a whole little, that's how that ended up happening.
So then you get to, you know, rapping Osborne. And then that's when I want to know about, like, the parade and rapping with the band and going down to festivals and shit like that. How did that come about?
That was, you know, like I said, I always had a thing for music, even live music. I used to play the drums. So with the band, I always wanted to be in the band, but I knew I was an athlete too. I knew both of the two wouldn't go mix. So I chose to be an athlete than a band member. But the thing with it, I got so much love for music that I sat down with the band director then, was Mr. Smith, and I was he was digging how I was performing at the talent shows. And he was liking my freestyle. I was like a freestyle king back then, you know what I mean? And so
that's what I remember you from.
And so he was like, man, it'd be dope if we can get the band to play popular songs, you know what I mean? And you rap over these popular songs. I'm like, that's dope, you know what I mean? Hell yeah. I say, one thing. He said, what? I say, I got actual music out. Why don't you, you know, play a couple of my songs? And he said, okay, bet, give me the music and we'll write it up. And that's the first time I ever seen my music come to life. Like, I actually seen notes, you know what I'm saying, music notes, eighths and quarter notes and shit to my music. And that the band had to, you know, play. The shit was called EJ's Breakdown back then, you know what I mean? So the first thing we tried it out at the spring concert. And that's when all the parents and shit come, because, you know, that's in the evening, 6 o'clock, you know, when everybody off of work, everybody coming to the spring concert. The band came out, did their thing, and then next thing you know, I come across the stage, bald head as hell. Damn, I had a bald head back then? Shit. It's fucked up. But anyway, came out, you know what I mean, and rocked that bitch, man. I actually seen the clip on Facebook probably about a few weeks ago, and saved it, man. So I got to pull that shit up, man, because that shit actually was dope, man. But, you know, they liked it so much, they asked me if I wanted to go to New Orleans and go to Mardi Gras with them. They was performing in the Mardi Gras parade. I was like, hell yeah. You know what I mean? ended up doing that. Made it my senior trip. Took a whole bunch of seniors with me. We went out to the parade. I had a bullhorn, and we was marching in the parade. And every time we stopped, you know what I mean, we'd do the breakdown. And I had a bullhorn, rapping in the motherfucking bullhorn and shit, and it was live as hell. Like, got to go to the Superdome and was rapping inside the Superdome on the bullhorn. So, I mean, you know, I got back to school that next week, and it was all kind of rumors that I got signed to No Limit and all this shit. And
that's funny.
And you know how that shit go, but no, that was never true. But that's how that shit got to popping with the band, though. So that gave me my real love for like live music.
Live music.
Yeah.
But you did say that you was signed to what you say, Mob Life?
I was signed to Mob Life after that was my second deal. After I was signed, after I broke the deal off my dad. Okay. That shit just never worked. We ain't the Jacksons. And, so.
I don't think Mike was ever signed to Joe Jackson, but
he was signed to something. Joe had that ass for real. But anyway,
bro, that is come on, right, bro.
Pause.
This nigga burnt out.
Anyway, though, it's the weed, man. It's good weed. Good weed. Good weed.
Good weed. Yeah, you stay foolishness.
Shout out to cookies.
Mob Life.
Yeah, so Mob Life was my homeboy Chuck Boom shit off of 8 Mile, my 8 Mile homies. And it was me and my homeboy Young Ro. You know what I mean? Shout out to Ro. And we had a group called Lethal. And
you and Ro was in the group together?
Yeah, me and Ro was in the group together.
I ain't never know that.
So this was my first lesson in getting your ass kicked in music as far as the business goes.
Okay.
When you get fucked over. So I brought Ro to the group. To the label. Ro was dope as hell back then. I ain't gonna lie. It wasn't a lot of niggas that was fucking with Ro. You know what I mean? That nigga for his age, he was like a jigger. He was really the next Jay-Z if he really, you know what I'm saying? And that's a big compliment and that's a big shoes to fill. But at that time, his music, his wordplay, his infliction on his verses, shit was just dope. It was fucking genius, man. I give props what they do, man. And Ro's a fucking genius. Nevertheless, you know, I get dropped off the label. They pick Ro up for a solo deal. That was my motivation. I mean, he kept it 100 with me. Told me like, bro, it's nothing personal. He just more ready than you. Keep writing. You know when niggas tell you keep writing, man, it just being like you ain't ready, bro. So. Right. I thought I was, but for the lane I was changing in and becoming more of a real artist, I understood it, so I held that. That was a fuel for a minute, and that's when me and Trigger came into play, and we had a group called, we made a CMP, and that was the first. That's
when y'all was recording out there in Inkster.
That's when we was recording out in Inkster.
I remember that. But this was still high school, right?
This was, me and Trigger started recording our first album a year after high school.
I'm about to say, because you ended up going to Northwood or something like that, right?
I went to Northwood for a hot second.
To play football?
Yep. Got in a lot of trouble. Ended up having a baby. Came home to take care of my shorty. Didn't go back to school. Got straight into this music shit.
Yeah, nigga shit. That's what we do.
Life. So that's what that was. And so me and Trigger clicked up. Went to the studio. Started making music. Took a liking to my older cousin and his uncle. At the time was doing their thing. Shout out to Dave. Go get his book. Dave. His book is out right now.
I remember that nigga had that big ass dog, bro.
Used to just let that motherfucker loose.
Man, this nigga be like, this how he get you though. He have a motherfucking rim in the backyard and his son was out there and shit like, man, my son the next Kobe Bryant. Go ahead and play him 1-on-1 and shit. So I get out there and nigga, I'm playing with he like 5 at the time, bro. This nigga let this big ass dog loose. I'm like, bro, I'm ready to go, bro. Like, who play like that, bro?
Days,
well, shout out to Dave, bro. Shout out to Chris too. Shout out to Chris.
But Dave got his book out, man. He got us in his book, man, talking about the DMX situation. RP DMX, man. That was, that's one of my favorite artists, man. But,
shout out to DMX. Cause y'all Y'all had like a deal, or you rap for DMX or
we supposed to sign with X when he was Bloodline.
Okay, I remember you was telling me.
He did his Bloodline. It was me, J.E., aka Trigger, and a female artist I was writing for at the time named Janine. Janine was just a cold piece. Me and Janine did some music back in high school together. I wrote some music for her. And I mean, this was Eve before it was an Eve, bro. You know what I mean? Like, she just had the swag. Like, Eve was just popping. You know what I mean? Back when we was in high school. So it was like Trina and all of them. Like, this would have been like her. Like, she had the look, she had the voice, she had the swag. You know what I mean?
She was in high school with you.
She was in high school with us. Okay. You know what I mean? Okay. So yeah, we ended up making a couple of records or whatever, and Cuz and them had the same plug, you know, out of Arizona. Okay. And he was listening to some things, man, and next thing you know, Cuz walked into the house one day, handling some business, and DMX sitting right there on the couch. You know what I mean? Like,
this was DMX right after. This is around 01, 02.
This is 02.
02, okay, 02. So it's still hot DMX. This is
about
just cooling down.
This is about who we be?
Yeah.
That joint, you know what I mean? I think that's when that was, you know what I'm saying? So he, like I said, he was getting ready to jump off Bloodline. And so he was looking for artists, and when he heard the music, he was digging it, even digging her even more. Janine, and he hadn't even seen her. He just heard her voice and how she was spitting. And he called. I mean, he get with Dave. Said, "Man, let me see some pictures of him." You know, back then ain't no social media, so Cuz had to come back home, and we had to go to Rite Aid. You know what I'm saying, to get the disposable camera. That's funny. And you grab some gear or whatever. Took some pictures on his Benz or whatever with her. And me and Trigger or whatever, and sent it to him, and he was like, "Oh, I want the girl," and this, that, and the other. Thing is, we didn't have our own papers.
Right.
So, you know, we didn't really know too much. I mean, I knew about the game, but not really the business like that at that time. I'm still a young nigga. I'm only 18, 19 at the time. And I'm like, shit, you know, I'm like, hell no, you ain't trying to sign us. We ain't taking a deal. When really is, you know, we could have let her go and I could have signed on as a writer, you know what I mean, and still got a big hefty fee from her. I mean, for you signing her, you know what I'm saying? And finder's fee, and I'd have been straight, you know what I'm saying? But nigga wasn't thinking that then. Nigga thinking 18, 19. You know, like, no, we trying to get on, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't finna take my shit, you know, so that's how that shit played out, and it never ended up happening, and, you know, shit ended up still going, like, fucking around with Twister and opening up for Twister and kicking and having shows with him, and ended up full circle when we had the show in Chicago and met right back up with him, and it was just funny. I got a chance to actually bring that shit up. No one that nigga didn't remember that shit, but it was just the fact that a nigga got a chance to go full circle with that shit. You know what I mean? And that was dope, man. But
so, at what point did you move to Atlanta or go down to the A?
I moved down to the A. Once my OG and them moved down there, one family moved down there. I went down there for a minute. This was before my first son was born, so it had to be like 06.
Okay.
06, 05.
I'm thinking more like 05, but go ahead.
Yeah, 05. Yeah, it had to be like 04-ish, 05. Went down to the A, just you know, I had never been down there. Knew that the scene was popping.
Jeezy.
You know what I mean? Jeezy back then, you feel me? A lot of Outkast was still popping. Ludacris was popping, Lil Scrappy, the White T-Boys, and
Franchise Boys.
Yeah, you know, a lot of niggas was popping. A was cracking back then, you feel me?
So they still cracking.
I mean, they still, but then that's when it was starting. You know what I mean? So it's like, so it's like, let me get, especially Tip. So it's like, let me get down here and try to, you know, get my feet wet a little bit, establish something, man, and then I can just come back and forth. And so the A been kind of like my second home ever since then.
You did come back, and when you came back, you know, the first, I don't know if it was the first time, but you had this video camera.
The video camera, right? I had to roll another motherfucking blunt. So the video camera, right?
With the video camera, yeah.
Right. So I don't even know how I got that damn video camera. I'm pretty sure I stole it from somebody.
It be like that. It be like that.
Whatever. Anyway, though, so, you know, I'm in the A, okay? And Trigger called me. Okay?
Shout out to Trigger.
You say, you know, our crew was 220, okay? We didn't even get into the 220 story and how the group name changed to 220. I guess we'll get to that, but at this time it was 220. Trigger calls me, say, bro, you heard Joe little brother? I say,
shout out to Slim too, because I talked to him the other day. I told him I was interviewing. He wanted me to shout him out on the show.
Slim,
shout out to
Slim. That was my baby right there.
Free Slim.
Every time I drop something, my nigga was one of the first niggas to post that shit or rip that shit, man. Facts.
That's a fact. But yeah, you say you talked to
Trigger. So Trigger like, yeah, man, you know, Slim, man, his little brother, man, he you know, man, the cold, man, he, I said, yeah, like that. He said, man, like that. Say, nigga might even bite your ass. Oh, man, y'all tripping. You know what I mean? I gotta hear this shit. You know what I mean? So the word was that, you know, I guess you rapped with Trigger and Trigger you bit Trigger ass. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't never bit Trigger.
Paul, okay, Paul, you got in that ass. Pause.
Pause again. God, come on, bro. I'll just rap good, bro.
Okay, you gave the nigga the business, man. That worked.
No.
Cause that's what they said. Back then that was our slang, man. Dog got that nigga ass, bro.
God damn. Bro.
Pause. You feel me? I guess in this political social
Trigger
media
had a
cancel
cipher.
culture, you always got to say this kind of shit.
Listen, me and Trigger had a cipher. Trigger ran out of raps first. That's how it happened.
That's the politically correct.
That's what happened. That's my man's.
I heard you got in that ass.
Pause.
Anyway.
Like, stop, bro.
So, anyway, man. So they say, dog, you got to come hold it down. You know what I mean? So they called on me. They called on me to come hold it down because I guess my dog couldn't hold it down, man. So I said, okay, bet, man. I'm gonna come down. So I caught the bus. You know what I mean? This is how exciting rap is at the time, man. I'm catching Greyhounds from the A back to the city, man, to see what this shit is all about. And get here, man. And I had the video camera because I remember I had a white Crown Vic. I had the video camera. Pull up, and you came out on the porch. Okay.
Was we on Ralph's porch or my mama's porch?
I smoke a lot of weed, bro. I want to say it was your porch, your mama's porch on college.
Okay.
It had to be college.
Okay.
And when you came out, it was like, you know how they hype it up, how the niggas be geeking it up and all this shit. And you just came out and started flowing. And I'm recording you like shit. Like,
hey, they might have gave me a pep talk before I came out.
Yeah, they gave you a little, you know what I mean? And so the nigga just came out on fire. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I handed the camera over and I proceeded to show you what greatness was.
Know his own story, bro. Go ahead.
I mean, did I rap or did I not rap that day?
You didn't rap that day, bro.
I didn't rap that day?
No, nigga.
So when did I show you what greatness was? Because it was a time I had to show you what greatness was. If we're going to be real.
Show me what greatness was?
All right, man. So
I'm going to tell you what I'm going to give you, bro. You might be the best freestyler I ever heard personally. Like,
that's dope.
I'm going to give you that. But show me what greatness is?
Yeah.
Might have been that time in Dave's basement where you was rapping about all the niggas on the picture.
Stupid talk.
I'm trying to tell you, that shit used to be fire. That was like the entertainment.
It was,
nigga, I pull up to the studio, you pull up, I'm going on some, you feel what I'm saying, with the lyrical shit, and then it's just like, well, shit, this nigga gonna rap about everything in the room. That shit was fire, bro. We used to be fucking niggas up with that shit.
With that shit, bro. I can remember just, once I seen how dope you was, bro, I automatically, and then not only that, I want to say if it wasn't the same day, it was the next day. You was like, I do beats, and see at the time we was funny niggas. We
so
was
this was 06.
Niggas. This is 06.
Yeah, this is 06.
Because we was bougie niggas back then, and we was kind of spoiled. You know what I'm saying? So we had producers already. You know what I'm saying? And then we was fucking with. So and they were real producers.
Yeah.
You know, when they hitting off the MPC and the keyboards and all that
my
shit.
My beats weren't that good.
You know, and my nigga was talking about he do beats, and we like, you know, where your equipment at? And the nigga like, it's right here on my computer.
I used to make them on Fruity Loops.
And he like Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
And this is the first time I'm introduced to Fruity Loops.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the nigga do the Fruity Loops, and I remember we went through some beats, and I guess you probably went into your folder that you was keeping for yourself, and you played that Niggas Got a Problem, man. I heard that Jigga sample.
Okay, so wait. I gotta give my man some credit. Shout out to Cold Blooded Beats. Cold Blooded made that beat.
Oh, that's what it was.
Cold Blooded, and I was keeping that for myself type shit.
I know you was.
Cold Blooded, yeah. Well, that's actually the first time we went to the studio together.
Yeah, that's the first time.
And you know, you like can you come to the studio and shit? I'm like, shit, you know, I'm 15, 16 at the time. I might have been 17. And I'm like, shit, I would have just came, but you feel what I'm saying? Like let me ask my OG, because I ain't never been to the studio before. Right, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I used to go record at my cousin's house. Shout out to my cousin Matt. I used to record his shit on the computer. Right. Where you had the wire mic and shit, and something, you know, you hang the mic up from the ceiling and shit or whatever the case. But I never been to a studio before. Right. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just like what I know from the studio, niggas be in the studio all day. Let me just tell my OG, like, shit, I'm about to go to the studio. I don't know where y'all got this permission shit from, but it's a good story. But yeah, you definitely asked my mama and shit, and she just gave you that speech, like, shit, you know, this my baby. Take care of my baby. Right. You responsible for him.
Bottom line.
She definitely told you was responsible for me. All right, I do remember that. Shout out to my OG.
Shout out to moms for that. But I remember we got your ass to that studio.
Mm-hmm. Dream Factory.
My nigga Lynn, what's up, my baby? And I remember I told you, man, break that beat out.
I ain't want to.
You didn't want to break the beat out. So I had to convince you.
I was saving that bitch for myself.
I had to convince you though, like, it's a pecking order to this shit. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, bro, you got to start from the bottom, like, with this shit. I had to, because that's just the way of the game.
This before Paulie was around.
This is before Paulie was around. And so it was just like, bro, we already been moving. We trying to get us out here. Once we get out here, you next. You know what I'm saying? That was just how the game was set up back then. You know what I mean?
If you kind of like, it's the same shit. Not the same shit, but it's kind of like what you went through with Janine and them. It's just like, I didn't know the business. You feel what I'm saying? All I know is like, y'all niggas over here trying to bully me for my fucking beats, bro.
Like,
I ain't doing it. You feel what I'm saying?
And
because I'm a solo artist at the end of the day. You feel what I'm saying?
Dog. You had them. You had to, like, we was like, damn, this nigga ain't using no motherfucking MPC, no Triton, no Phantom, no like this nigga doing this shit off this motherfucking computer. And then all we could transfer the shit, and once we learned how to transfer the tracks and dump them into Pro Tools, we was like, oh, bingo. So it was like, yeah, let's get on this shit and do it. You feel what I'm saying? And you know, and we got to honestly making, you know, that's when me and Trigger got to making our debut album.
Man, and
long time
coming. I probably made like 5 beats.
You made like 5 or 6 beats on that album,
the long time coming intro.
Yeah.
Who made Saturday Night Live? I think Chris made that.
Chris made Saturday Night Live.
I made Walking Funny.
You made Walking Funny.
I made Cool. I made Fresh. You show Fresh?
I think I made Fresh.
You might.
I'm serious.
You might have made it. You might have made Fresh on my shit though.
So I made it on your shit. I checked your style for sure. once you showed us how to do that shit, I definitely got to playing around with them buttons.
But yeah, a long time coming. That's I definitely wish that album
would have seen the
light of day for sure. Because I remember going to school bumping that shit, like having my niggas at school, like, y'all need to listen to this shit, like, cause nigga, I really believed in our shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm producing, I'm on the album type shit. It's just like, that's some shit to show niggas, like, nigga, I'm doing something. You feel what I'm saying? But the song, and I talked to Paulie about this shit. The song that I really wish would have caught, because I knew that we would have blew up, bro, was Stand It, bro.
Shout out to my nigga Hurt, man. So
Stand It, from your perspective, tell me, because I already told the niggas how I went on my end. I wasn't even there. You feel what I'm saying? So they in there, they doing a record. Now, you might have told me before I even came in the room, because you met me at the door. You might have told me that I wasn't going on the song. which was like a real heartbreaker from the start, but I didn't let it show. You get what I'm saying? You might have told me like you, and this is one thing.
Wow.
I definitely appreciate you for, and this is like,
wow.
You taught me to appreciate the moment, understand the moment, because you're going to get here. You understand what I'm saying? You're not going on this song tonight. I didn't call you up here to think you're going to be on this song. I called you up here to understand the moment. So from your perspective, how did that night go?
Man, so man, you know, I'm motherfucking man.
Your man fucked up.
Man, but so listen, so I remember me and Paulie kicking it, and at the time Paulie was managing me and Trigger.
Mm-hmm.
And
so Paulie came around this time.
Paulie came around this time. This is when we're, because I was standing a long time coming.
Yeah, it was long time coming. Wasn't complete.
Okay, so now, so let me remind y'all. Let me give y'all a little game. Me and Trigger had a whole album finished and done at CMP before we changed our name to 220 and did Long Time Coming. We recorded a whole album in Sound Camp Studios.
You know what I'm thinking about, bro? What the fuck is that song y'all had? I like your body. Working, shorty.
that was that thing.
That thing. That's what it was.
And that was and that was a long time coming.
It was. That was
it was
the last song.
That was a long time coming.
The last song. I put the track list together.
Yeah, you did.
But y'all was working on the album.
So when we got done with that album never came out, and then we got to got to this project, and Paulie asked me, he said, man, what's the artist you want to do a song with out the city? I was like, shit, Herc. Mm-hmm. And at the time, Malik was still popping, and I had more of a personal relationship with Malik, but Herc was just killing the game. That was everybody's favorite. It was like, nigga, I'm about to do a track with Herc. Nigga, like, you're not finna, no, that's what, you know what I mean? So I'm like, Herc, and he like, bet, I'm gonna get him. I said, bet. He said, well, he had the idea for the track. Paulie actually came up with the idea for that, for the concept of that. He said, what you think about this song? And he played the old school song. I think it's Captain somebody.
Captain Rap. Bad Times. And yeah, I seen y'all interview and y'all didn't remember that shit. Fucked up this time.
Yeah, I made sure I wasn't gonna fuck that up. So he let me hear it. I remembered the song. I was real familiar with it. He said, who can we get to do it? I said, let's get RCF to do it. And so he was like, okay. So we tried to get RCF to do it at first, and a lot of people don't know that. RCF started on the track first, and he it just wasn't hitting right. He couldn't really fuck with the samples like that. So I was like, you know what? I got another dude who crazy with the samples. He replayed the shit, blah blah blah. Here comes No Size. So
you got a lot of fucking sources.
So No Size hears the song. He comes in the studio that same night. Man, nigga drops that shit not even 20 minutes.
All this time, bro. I swear I used to think that Chris made Stand It.
No, Chris started making Stand It. No Size came and did the damn thing to it.
Right. Shout out to Saj.
So shout out to Saj.
One of the producers that he said I stole.
Definitely stole Saj. So when Saj came and dropped it, you know what I mean? It was dope. All I remember is I kind of got ambushed that night because I don't quite remember him, Paulie telling me, this is the night Herc coming to the studio. I just remember that was the night I was finna record. We was finna record the song, but we didn't know if Herc was gonna be there or not. And
that's Paulie fashion right
there. That's Paulie fashion, right? So ended up telling us, dog coming through, it's going down. So now it's more like going from being a fan to like business. Like I gotta come on this track. You know, I gotta like.
Piece of this shit. I'm tired of being a nigga to start. You know, I'm going to pick on all I want.
And I don't think niggas really respect
from Jack City, robbing niggas over pity.
Niggas, you said I can catch it when you said it, so I ain't heard the shit since I probably recorded the shit.
I ain't heard the song since nigga 2009. And I still remember that shit. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like that was a life changing moment. Y'all niggas kicked me off. But go ahead, bro. Finish telling your story.
And I want to get that straight.
No. Just tell your story first.
Okay.
My story is my story. You can't change.
I can't. But anyway, because it's your story, my story, then the truth. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so all I remember, man, I kept going into the office where Herc was at, writing this shit, and I was like, I want to kick it with the nigga.
But now this nigga telling my story. Go ahead.
No.
Actually, you weren't in there with us, bro.
No, listen. I know where I was at. I was in the engineering room.
You said you smoke a lot of weed.
Listen to me though. I was in the engineering room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you recall, I went to the office maybe 2 or 3 times. While you were in there.
Yeah, I was in there.
You was in there. Right. I wanted to go in there and just kick it with the niggas, like, because I felt like it was our session.
Right.
Like,
you just wanted to make them feel comfortable.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? This is my time to introduce myself. You on the track with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
So, like, and I really didn't get a chance to do that. You know what I'm saying? And so, it was more like...
Was Trigger there?
Trigger was there.
And he wrote his verse there.
Trigger wrote his verse there.
Shout out to Trigger. That nigga Trigger shouted me out on the record, nigga. Young Verdict is a sequel, nigga. Trigger a real nigga, bro. You ain't shout me out on there. But it's cool though. Come on, finish your story.
Yeah, my story. So,
6 Mile shit.
Yeah, it's that 6 Mile shit.
Trigger shouted me out.
Yeah, I hear you. So anyway, nigga, damn, it'd have been nice if the host had some water in this motherfucker. You don't give your guests water on this bitch, man?
You should have said something before we press record, bro. I got some water.
That's crazy, man. You know. Anyway, man,
I'm gonna get you some water, bro.
Supposed to have stage. Okay, never mind. I'm talking. So yeah, man.
My assistant left.
Okay, that's dope. So I go back in there, finish my verse up, man. I go record. I don't know if I recorded first or if Herc came in there and laid his shit first.
Herc laid his verse first.
Did he lay his verse first?
Because he had to go.
He had to go. So Herc came in there and laid his shit. I think for me, that was the first time I have been in awe, like, of an artist.
I got knocked. I ain't got no niggas running off like they not gonna pay.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all pay or the shots gonna spray. Niggas know who, but
they're not gonna say. You know what I mean? Like
fucked that bitch up.
He fucked that bitch up. Like, we young niggas, you know what I'm saying?
Man,
like, this nigga's a whole vet.
Man, Herc fucked that bitch. The state boys ride, better watch your speed, because if I get stopped and the cops gonna bleed. And I'm pissed I ain't got no weed. I've been since my pops OD.
Yeah.
Passing the range. Fiends at the liquor store asking for change. Everybody tough now, everybody hard. I see for sale signs
in everybody yard.
Man, that nigga was crazy.
Shit that's still going on right now.
Man, that was crazy. That was like the beginning of the recession. That was like the beginning.
Real talk.
Yeah.
That was real talk. And
so I was in there when he wrote that shit. I was like, damn, that's what you just came up with? That's what's up. But
that bitch and kicked our ass.
He did. I tried to jump on there and save the day.
What a vet supposed to do.
That's a fact. But you saying he shows the vet, did his thing.
He did his thing, and went in there and did ours. And I remember, I don't know if it was you or Paulie that came to me first and ran the idea of you getting on the track.
That sounds like some meat shit.
And I remember you had your verse already ready.
At a 24.
Yeah, you had a 24 fucking bar verse ready. You feel me? And I'm sitting here like, hell no, like, nigga, this not his time, bro. Like, it's like we work for this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Paulie definitely was trying to get me on there. Like, he was trying to reason with it.
Like,
yeah, you feel what I'm saying? For sure. He
was trying to reason with it, but me telling Paulie, was like, bro, like, it's our time, bro. Like, we work for this. This is what, like, bro, gonna have his chance to get on, bro.
That's right.
And that was my only take from it. It was never nothing from that. That was I was only being professional, business minded, and honestly. maybe not you doing 16. I mean 24, but maybe 16.
I feel like I should have just did like a bridge thing.
Yeah, you know
that's what me now would have you know what I'm saying, or told one of my young niggas to do.
But like trying to come on that bitch and like
be Lil Wayne.
Yeah, I was like, nah, bro. I was like, nah, like let Herc have his shine and we just, you know what I mean. So that's what it was.
I ain't understand. But I be feeling like that was like the best thing that ever happened to me.
That was your motivation right there.
It was my motivation because Paulie, like I said, I talked to Herc afterwards. And Paulie dropped me off at home, and the whole ride home, the nigga to see how sad I was, bro. Like that shit really got to me. Like, dog, you called me out of my house for this shit, like, cause I didn't understand.
You thought niggas was rubbing that shit in your face or something when it was really like.
But I get where you're going with it.
When nigga with only.
No, come on, let's go. Let's go.
When really a nigga would really think though, dog. That's like bullshit.
Yeah, I ain't like how that sounded, bro.
But at the end of the day, it was not like I said. That was my whole take from it. It was never like. No, I don't want Lil, because we was like, let's do the remix. We was talking about a remix. And back then, that's how you did things. Like, you dropped an original, and if that shit was banging, you put the remix out. And you introduce your squad, or you put it, because originally, Malik got mad when he heard it. So Malik was like, bro, what up? Like, you know.
I didn't know that.
Malik got mad, and he was like, bro, we east side niggas, man. Y'all put that west side, and blah, 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 blah. Like, what's up? And I'm like,
know that,
bro, we're going to do a remix and we're going to put, you know what I'm saying? And that's when I was going to put you, Malik, and at the time I think it was Stretch was just coming out.
Take money, make money. And it's crazy because up until my little brother was on the show, I forgot that I jacked the beat.
You did.
I jacked the beat and did like the whole motherfucking song. And then I cut out the part where Jay was like,
shout out
Young Birdie Kiss the sequel, and then I just started going from there again. And shit is like, I was pissed behind that shit. But y'all not letting me I feel like y'all not putting me on that song, birth choosing. You feel what I'm saying?
Which in return pissed me off.
Why? You was with Paulie that day when I wrote it.
I know.
You pulled up with him. But why that piss you off? I ain't never heard that either. Let's get it. That's
because I felt like I should have been on that track.
You did say some shit like
that
to me.
I did.
I feel like I should have been on that track.
And so I felt like that was you being petty for me not letting you be on standing.
I'm a petty nigga.
Definitely.
I'm a petty nigga.
Definitely.
And you know that more than anybody.
That's why I said it then, because I knew you then. I was around you more. I was around you more than anybody.
Every day.
So therefore I knew your true intentions, and I'm like, he really enjoying this shit. You feel me? I was like, he really enjoying this shit. Cause it's like,
shit, dude.
It's like, not only
I'm gonna tell you how selfish a nigga was, bro. It's funny that you said that. A nigga made the whole song like a story, bro, to where no nigga can get on.
You want me to know that? You know how many times I told you that song, bro? You know how many conversations me and Paulie had without you, about me getting on that song?
A lot. That's funny as fuck.
And you know what that nigga telling me? It's his time now. You know.
Oh, I know that got to you. What? But to be fair, how did it become my time though? Some shit happened. I think you and Trigger.
Me and Trigger got into some shit and he left the group. And at that time, I was indecisive about whether I wanted to be a solo artist.
A solo artist, because you never.
I
remember we used to talk all the time, and you never felt comfortable with being a solo artist.
Never.
Yeah, I remember that.
Never felt comfortable being a solo artist, and so
you never asked me to be in a group with you though. Well, go ahead. I probably wouldn't have did it.
Well,
I wouldn't have did it because I was accustomed to being a solo artist. You feel what I'm saying?
And I'm gonna tell you what happened before I got a chance to do it. You and Paulie became business partners.
I thought you were about to say some funny shit.
You know what I'm saying? And you became a solo artist.
Well, I was already a solo artist.
But I wanted me and you to be a group because I felt like if Trigger gonna be out, me and V could go ahead and really. I always thought of like a Jigga Memphis Bleak type back then. You know what I mean? And so like,
I don't think that type of shit offensive.
You know what I'm saying? But
I knew I was a little
yeah, but at the time, but that was then. But so like, you know, you end up doing your solo shit, and so that was actually another blessing for me because it made me become a solo artist.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
But that's crazy though, because I was sitting back thinking like, so that was 07 we did Standard and Choosing. But it's just like I was saying, partly like between like 07 and like to like 2012, 2013, it's like wasn't nothing cracking. But then like after the interview, we got to talking. Like after the interview, me and Paulie sat out in the parking lot for like 3 hours, just sitting there kicking about all the shit that like, damn, that did happen. And it's crazy because you was the nigga that introduced us to it.
Yep.
And that's how you be talking about how I stole your producer and shit. I would love to. Do you remember how that happened though?
How you stole Wit?
No, about how we got introduced to it type shit.
Y'all needed something mixed.
No, we needed a beat breakdown from MP.
Oh, from a file. Yep.
That FedEx.
Yep.
Shout out to FedEx.
FedEx. Yep.
FedEx.
Another
did the beat
producer.
for us.
Another producer. You stole.
I ain't still FedEx.
I had FedEx first, bro.
But I didn't steal him. So when you say stole, I agree with Saj, because Saj became my homeboy. Like I used to be over Saj crib every day.
Wit.
I ain't steal Wit.
You did steal Wit.
But I didn't.
How many beats did Wit do for you?
Team.
Oh, enough said.
But you gotta remember. Now when you say Saj, I can because like me and Saj became like friends.
No,
Type shit. You feel what I'm saying?
Talk.
I feel like as close as me and Wit is, me and Wit is always business.
Always business.
You feel what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that.
I gave you.
Feel what I'm saying?
I gave you a good business partner.
You gave me a great business partner with Wit, for sure. Because Wit,
I still fuck with my nigga Wit to this day.
To this day, I fuck with Wit.
Wit is the one person who taught me how Pro Tools. Who taught me outside of Roe and Wit was the first people to teach me how to make a beat. So like
Wit developed me as an artist. I ain't never got nothing bad to say
Wit
about
definitely
Wit.
developed me as an artist.
So Wit is a real producer. Shout out to Wit. Well, I don't think I ain't saying
that. Produced me and Trigger's first. When me and Trigger was CMP, and Dave and Chris was managing us. Our first singles that we pressed up was 3 tracks. We had a 3-track EP. I guess you wouldn't call it an EP or a single back then.
3-track EP.
I guess.
What does CMP stand for?
Cash and Pain.
So CNP.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I kind of remember that y'all did like a photo shoot. I remember seeing like a video. a CD case with y'all was like in the backyard type shit, or I don't remember what the fuck. I remember CNP though. It was like some Halloween looking letters and shit. You remember when y'all niggas?
I was making some old shitty ass logos back then, off of Windows.
I agree.
Yeah.
You remember when y'all niggas went to Vegas?
Man, that's a story for a whole nother podcast, bro.
Man, that shit was
that
funny.
story with that story right there, like literally we're trying to make into a movie. I've been trying to make into a movie for the past 4 years.
That story pissed me off.
Like that's the greatest fucking story ever. Like
now you're gonna have the people wanting to hear the story though.
Well, too bad. They gonna have to
just give us like the back of the book. Like we'll have like
basically, man.
Y'all got stuck.
We went to Cali. We were supposed to go perform at the MTV after party.
Who's after party, bro? You gotta get a
Dr. Dre's. Okay.
These niggas go ahead. They were supposed to go to Dr. Dre's MTV after party.
Club 702. Okay. I'm not gonna mention these niggas' name right now in this podcast, but the niggas that supposedly brokered the deal, who was also performing and supposed to be performing too.
I was pissed I didn't go.
We sent the money to the promoter. We rented the vehicle. We took our journey 5 deep. 3 of my homies, 2 of them. When I say 3, that's including me. So it's 5 of us. Long story short, in so many ways, before we even get to fucking California, we're told that we're finna stay in this luxury condo. We finna be recording at this top of the line studio, all out in Cali, right?
I should be.
We get to Laramie, Wyoming, and get stuck because these 2 nameless people don't have no more money. And so instantly I'm like, dog, we're not going nowhere else until you can figure out who can wire y'all some money. So, we're in Laramie, Wyoming. Cowboy country. Hick town. Not a nigga in sight. But us. We go to the Farmer Jack. This is Farmer Jack, man. And the one dude got to get somebody to wire him some money. So he's getting somebody to wire him some money. The other dude who was I want to say 40 something at the time, trying to rap. At the time, was the problem. Ruckus.
Damn, I can't wait till y'all do this movie because the people gotta understand why this shit's so funny.
He goes into the what you call them, credit union. They so scared of him, they give him $50 just because he's a credit union member of their sister branch. They give him a $50 loan. As soon as he walk out the door, they lock the door. By the time we are back at the truck, it's 7-8 police cars surrounding the parking lot. We get everything squared away with them. They go. We get a phone call. The show has been canceled. What do you mean the show has been canceled? Turns out it was a shooting at the club, and the club has been closed. How long has the club been closed? Finds out the club has been closed for weeks. So this promoter didn't know that? No, he knew that. He thought he was going to get over on the Goof Troop and get their money and then get whoever else money and think we weren't going to show. So we made a call and said, hey, we're 17 hours away. We're finna pull up straight to your house. We just sent you this money. We're going to need that money back. He say, I can give you y'all money, but their money I can't get them back because they've been sent me their money. I have to get them. Whatever your story is, fine. We have ours. Now we're pissed, but now we're ready to get to the condo because we're long trip. You know, we want to go lay out, smoke some good Cali weed, you know, that we were told. The condo, you know. We get to this apartment. That's 1 bedroom. And it's the dope house.
Wow.
It's the weed lady. Shout out to my baby, though, because she really held us down, though. She showed us some real hospitality. She was from Flint. And so she was out there and we got to smoking that good Cali weed. And nevertheless, niggas wanted me to take one for the team. I wasn't going to take one for the team. We ended up driving to Vegas still because we still had hotel reservations at the Venetian. We still was going to the 50 Cent and Eve after party. So we still had CDs to give out. So we was going to make a whole deal of it. You know what I mean?
When niggas was out there passing out CDs.
You know, back when niggas was passing out CDs, right? So we get to this 1 bedroom apartment, you know, after we done been pissed off for a minute, we get to smoking this good weed. We kind of good for a minute, and I say, well, I'm ready to go see the studio. So we go to the studio. Shout out to UGMX, my man Mike out there, out in San Jose, California. Went to the studio, and that was the first time, dog ain't lie. He had a dog-ass studio. The touch boards that ESPN used to this day, he was the first one of the first people to patent it, and I remember that conversation vividly. And he had one in his studio, and he was showing us how that shit worked, and that shit was dope. He heard my music. We heard our music, and asked me straight up, like, how do I know dog? Because we're 2 different people. And instantly took a liking to me. We got to kicking it. Asked me, was I going to, I told him about the Vegas shit, what's going on. And he said, and actually, now that I'm thinking about it, he was the one that told us that the club had been closed for weeks.
Right.
But by this time, we already had our money, so the dog tried to get over on us. That's how we put 2 and 2 together.
Right.
So he said, well, listen, I'm actually doing an after party with Dre at the Palms. Like, y'all more than welcome. You're invited. Gave me his number. Said, man, hit me up. I said, bet. We can do that. So we get back, man. Then the next day, we're supposed to be going to this other apartment. This other studio. It's supposed to be even better than this one. But I'm geeked now because I done seen one studio. Mm-hmm. I was ready to record in it. And when I said, we recording, he was like, no, we're not recording this one. We're recording the other one. I'm like, why not this one? He's like, no, I'm going to record another one. I said, all right, bet. The next day, we go to the other studio. We walk into this apartment complex. Nothing but gang banging. Like, this is the first time I'm in Cali, so first time I'm really seeing gang banging activity at its fullest. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm like, fuck, where we at shit like training day. Niggas clapping pigeons and shit. You feel me? So, like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we get out, you know, we go walk in a motherfucking apartment. You know, it's like a 3-bedroom apartment. Okay. Kids running around. You know, like, all right. Walk to the back room. That's supposed to be the studio. Mm-hmm. It's a bedroom with a mic with the sheet up. and a nigga over here on the computer. 30 Crips in the motherfucking room.
You
Right?
think that was better than the ESPN studio?
This is one that's supposed to be better than the ESPN studio. You did. So I'm like, what the fuck? Me and Trigger and my nigga Rome, we in there like, what the fuck? Right? So we cool for right now. It's cool. Introduce yourself, whatever. The man in the house, who's also the engineer and producer, I guess dog had Tourette's syndrome. Straight up. Cause the nigga just shot out, motherfucking shit, bitch! Nigga jump like, what the fuck? all the homies like, yeah, it's good, big homie. Yeah, we know, big homie. This is all right, big homie. Then he go right back to, man, let's get into this shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, whoa, right? So, me being, you know, I ain't gonna lie, me just being like naive to the culture, and me being my freestyle self, I get to rapping.
Oh, shit.
I'm going, right. Well, at this time, we're 220. This is the name of the group. The group is the crew that we run with. 220 at that time meant blood trust. Mm-hmm. So I'm rapping and I'm talking about blood trust this, blood trust that. And next thing I know, when I get done rapping, I have 30 niggas ready to jump me.
Fuck it.
Talking about, what's up with all that, cuz? And all that shit, right? I instantly like, whoa, nigga. No, that's the set, bro. That's the crew. I'm like, nigga, that's the number. That's what it means. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nigga, I'm from the D. I got my D hat on. So, nigga, I don't do all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, actually, nigga, it's a mixture of ours where we from. You know what I'm saying? We got both in our set. You feel me? Right. That's why we twisted like that. You feel me? Niggas was like, what? So, when I got to, you know, throwing the history of the set down from where I'm from, niggas fall back and start being more comfortable. Like, oh, you a real nigga. Y'all some real. Okay. Y'all don't fuck with them for real, do y'all? No, they not one of us, okay? Like, they see us tatted up with the same tats. It makes more sense to them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, they got the number. They got all the same numbers. Y'all don't have these numbers that they got. So these niggas, they respect that gang shit. So,
right.
You know what I mean? So that was like our past. You feel me? Because I was definitely a dead nigga. I'm not going to even lie to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? I had nowhere to go, no one to call on the other side of the country. You know what I'm saying? So by this time, we done got to rapping. I'm putting down some shit. I done got asked to be put on several tracks. I'm over there kicking it now. It's like we in the hood now. You know what I mean? We comfortable, we kicking it, we drinking, we smoking. It's all good. Next thing I know, you know, the producer, he take me out in the living room. He kicking it with me. We kicking it, watching the 49ers that night, matter of fact, because it's West Coast. So we was watching the 49ers and just talking or whatever. We go back to the one-bedroom apartment. We make our journey the next day to motherfucking Vegas. I mean, to get to Vegas, basically it's just like, man, when they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, that shit is like the truest shit in the world. Because I don't think shit happens like it happens in Vegas here or anywhere else.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Like, if you can tell me that you're gonna see everybody from. Okay, so it was one part I can tell you, right? We just got out the Eve and 50 party, right? At the Venetian.
This ain't the J Bud, the Lil Fizz.
Just the Lil Fizz part, right?
That's funny.
So we seeing everybody. I just got them talking like the Pusha T and all that. We kicking it with everybody. But I just got them talking to Trick down there. Like, what the fuck y'all doing down here? Like, nigga, the same thing you doing down here. You're like, well, shit, we finna go to the Palms. I said, nigga, I'm finna go to the Palms. He's like, nigga, how you? I said, nigga, the same way you do, big homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, he like, that's what's up. He was fucking with it. I just got through seeing Andre Harrell, right? And I was trying to have a conversation with him, but he was kind of like on the move. So, coming up the escalator, right? Somebody coming up the escalator, and all I hear is, "Look, it's Lil Fizz!" And I look to see who said it. I'm thinking it's some type of groupie or fan or something. And it's Trigger. Trigger is next to me with a whole smile on his face, like a kid on Christmas. You know what I'm saying? They got the PS5 or something. And he like, and I mean, when I say everybody looked, nigga, everybody looked.
That's funny as hell.
And so even Fizz looked like, what the fuck? Laughed and kind of like ducked off and walked off. I mean, if I seen a grown ass man talking about look, it's Lil Fizz. Like, you know what I mean? So you know, yeah, man. And then, man, I end up.
Niggas end up getting stuck.
I could tell you about the porno chick we met that night and what happened that night, but that was just funny because she.
Shit for the movie.
I'm gonna say that for the movie.
Hold on.
But anyway, so what ended up happening is we end up being out there for like 2 weeks. Okay, we ready to go. Now the good thing is, the chick who house we was at, she was actually selling weed for.
You telling your whole fucking movie, bro.
Okay, and so I'm not even getting to the parts, but anyway, I ended up talking to Spice One, and Spice One was like, you know, I was like, man, you know, I'm a big fan of you, blah blah blah, man. The D still fuck with you, blah blah blah. He was like, man, I heard about your situation, man. It's fucked up. Next time you come out here, you come fuck with me, homie. It's all good, blah. They split. Fast forward, I ended up doing a show with Spice One here years later, but anyway, so. The two niggas that was there, they didn't have no money because they was waiting on the promoter to give them their money, and it seemed like the promoter was never going to give them their money. So they was trying to go to the studio, and I didn't want to go, and we was ready to go home. And I told Dawg flat out, we finna go, and if you ain't got no money to go, y'all niggas gonna be stuck here. And we left them niggas and got on the road and got the fuck on and came back home. Tried to come home with a bunch of Cali weed, but the Cali weed was so good, we just ended up smoking the shit before we got here. So we was kind of pissed, except for J.E. selfish ass, because he always be slick enough to keep something. And that motherfucker ended up having some more weed when we got here.
So listen though, what I want to do is fast forward to like 2012. I remember I was out in Cali, and me and bro had a situation or whatever the case may be, and I remember I ended up calling you. You know what I'm saying? Just you talking me through the shit or whatever the case may be. But I remember when I got back, I remember like being broke as hell. Like I ain't had no motherfucking job, whatever the case may be. And this is around the time you start working on Blood Before Betrayal. And it's like that album, I ain't even gonna lie, bro. That and Peasy's Mud Music is my two favorite Detroit albums ever. I give you that. I give you that. You made my favorite Detroit album ever. Because it's like I lived it with you. You feel what I'm saying? Like it used to be us sitting on the couch at your crib watching the Lions every Sunday and shit. You feel what I'm saying? Or you know what I mean? Like you and bro was doing business together with the music, so it's just like I wouldn't go to the studio with you. You feel what I'm saying? But I damn near heard all the songs. You feel what I'm saying? But like explain to me like what Blood Before Betrayal mean to you, because it's just like I said, it's one of my favorite albums.
Blood Before Betrayal was my rebirth as an artist.
And that was the first shit. It was the first shit you did solo. It's the first shit you put out solo.
It was the first, like I had been doing music. I actually had like 2 mixtapes prior to that.
Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorant, that's before I changed my name to E-Class.
Yep, I remember that.
So I had 2 mixtapes out before that. And when me and bro talked, we figured it out, made a deal, and I made the album, man. And I remember telling him, he was like, well, if you're going to have a producer, who you going to have producing? And I said, D.A. going to be one of them. He said, yeah, but man, you need somebody that everybody know. I'm like, I'm going to do Wit. And he's like, I let nigga, everybody know Wit. I said, nigga, Wit, nigga, platinum producer, nigga. I said, he's like, nah, niggas don't, I'm talking about the street niggas know.
Yeah,
I say,
right.
Let's go get hell of her. He said, nah, you talking, nigga. He said, hell yeah, nigga, let's go get. So I got in touch with Helly. Shout out to Helly. I got in touch with Helly. Crazy story with him. How me and him linked back up. But the nigga came to the door with a strap when I was banging on the door. And he was like, who is it? I'm like, Class. He's like, nigga, who? I'm like, Class. He's like, I'm going to ask you again. I'm like, nigga, I was just in here with COD and Road. Dog. He's like, oh, okay. Let me in or whatever. And asked him to produce majority of the album. And once he heard me flow, he put the first beat on, man. And
what's the first song you did for Blood Before Betrayal that you remember, like that recording? Like what set the foundation? Like Like, it's my favorite album. Like, give me information. I'm intrigued. I'm like a kid.
You know, because I did a whole behind the scenes of Blood Before, the whole making of Blood Before Betrayal. You know, I interviews with him and everything, and all my producers. I think Helly sparked it off. Helly, at first, you know, as when you're an artist, man, and you making an album, man, and you want to make your first album to make a big impression, you're gonna go through music, you're gonna go through beats. And so me and Helly went through a ton of beats, and I told him, I said, bro, don't give me the shit that everybody come and get. Give me the shit that niggas can't fuck with.
Right.
And he said, oh, you one of them niggas. I said, yeah, I'm one of them niggas. And he went into his other folder and he played, I remember he played We Shining. No, he didn't play We Shining. He played a beat that me and Grip did. And it was called 220 Over Here, and we all got it. And it was just a song for the crew. It was first time on the Helly beat, and we was just making it to make it. And then we ended up doing another beat that I ended up putting the young homies on, and we ended up shooting a video for that.
Hey, was y'all niggas trying to replace me around that time?
No, we weren't trying to replace you. You was off doing your thing by then. You was Hollywood V. You had
two things could be true, because I might have been Hollywood V for sure, but I remember me and bro wasn't on the same page, so we wasn't rocking.
Y'all wouldn't, but
so you can see how it will be. Is y'all niggas trying to replace me?
Nah.
Because I do remember at this time. I do remember y'all.
At this time, we had just found out that it was a whole nother set of 220.
Okay.
The younger generation.
Right.
So we wanted to click in with them niggas. You know what I'm saying? And the best way to do that, because them niggas was rapping, doing their thing, was take their best rappers and start going to the studio with them. So we was already going to the studio with them niggas, and then finally when we got with Helly, we took a Helly beat and we brought them niggas in there and did the beat off the Helly shit. You feel me?
So y'all did that before?
That was the first beat. That was the second song we did with Helly.
Okay.
Okay, this is the Blood Before Betrayal process.
Well, none of them went on that.
None of them made the album, right? I'm like, this ain't where I'm trying to go with the album. So I called Wit. Wit was already making me like 4 beats. Okay. Wit sent me a beat that he was making. I was like, shit. And it was Workflow.
Oh, one of my favorites.
But one of mine to this day. And when I did Workflow, I went with Workflow, came back, I let Helly hear it. Helly said, okay, cool. Helly played We Shining. Helly had been working because he knew I was picky. So he had been working. So he played We Shining. And when he played We Shining, I was like, whoa. And then me and Grip looked at each other and he was like, that's it. And when I see him, and what he didn't know back then, he was like, he was my gauge. Like, especially to the streets. And it was like, I knew if he was really fucking with it, niggas was fucking with it.
Right.
You feel me?
Right. So
I was like, when I seen his reaction to it, I'm like, bet. And then he was spitting a couple bars, because at the time he didn't really rap. But he was spitting a couple bars, and I was like, hold up, stop. I was like, nigga, that's the hook. He's like, huh? I was like, white tees and diamonds. We shine. And he was like, we shine. It's like, nigga, we shine. And he's like, woo, let's do it. I was like, all right, Helly, I went in that bitch and did the hook. And I did the hook, and then Helly heard my ad-libs and was like, stop that bitch. And was like, dog, your ad-libs is something crazy. Like, you know what you be doing with your ad-libs? I'm like, dog. I'm like, yeah, like, come on. So we did the ad-libs and all that shit, and then I was like, bro, you want to get on it? And he was like, hell yeah, I want to get on it. And he ended up getting on it. I called Trigger. Trigger, I got one for you. Come on, get on it. Trigger like, bet. Trigger heard the shit, came in that same night. Niggas got the writing, boom. Drop that bitch. That bitch rocking. We like, okay. Now I'm using that as the foundation of the album. Like, this it right here. I don't know where I want to go. And so, you know, at that time I already had a formula of the kind of album I wanted to make. I wanted to make sure I had a couple club bangers. I wanted to have something for the ladies. I wanted to have some real lyrical shit. I wanted to have some deep thought shit. I wanted to have some real. I just wanted to tell. I wanted to put.
You wanted to make an album.
Yeah, and I wanted to make it as authentic as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Putting the last few years of the crew
Mm-hmm.
into this album,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what made me do the skits with
Mm-hmm.
everybody from the crew telling some type of story, or having some type of skit before a certain song, because that skit relates to that song that comes on.
I'm gonna tell you some real shit. I went into Eastside High trying to duplicate Blood Before Betrayal my way.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
I
saying?
get it.
So it inspired me, but it just didn't live up to Blood Before Betrayal. I can admit that. You
But
feel
it
what I'm
was
saying?
dope.
No. Blood Before Betrayal was dope.
No, it wasn't no Blood Before Betrayal.
Eastside High was cool.
But for you,
But college ain't for everybody to get Blood Before Betrayal rough.
I don't think so.
It will, bro. It will, bro.
I don't think so.
I corrected every mistake, but go ahead. Go ahead.
I get you. But, when it came down to it, I got my formula from like Jay,
Mm-hmm.
Beans,
Mm-hmm.
Free,
Mm-hmm.
Scarface, Snoop,
Mm-hmm.
Short, like all the music that we had done over the years was from my influences.
Right.
So just me doing Blood for Betrayal, I knew it was gonna be a street album, but it was gonna be a whole completed like top shelf. And so yeah, when Helly started pulling shit out, man, he pulled out. I came back to the studio one day. Helly had another song, man, called Grind For It, and that was with 3D on the hook.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first time me and 3D had worked together. And he had told me, like, this was the first time me and 3D had worked together. I had new 3D.
Because I was working with 3D, but I linked up with 3D through No Sides.
New size. You know what I'm saying?
stuck
So
around
that's how
a
I knew 3D. 3D used to be always up at the factory with Saj.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we just never did music together. We always fucked around and freestyle, had sessions, but we never put nothing together.
Mm-hmm.
So, full circle comes, he fucking with Helly. He like, bro, I had a hook done for you. I had this beat, It's a sample. He played this shit. It was the Drew Hill joint, and I was like, whoa. And I was like, oh, that shit, like that hit me. I was like, all right, bet, run it. And he was like, and after that, it was just on and popping. So like, Helly ended up doing like, I want to say Helly did like 6 joints off the album. Wit did 4, and DA did the rest.
Why do you think that CD didn't do what did you project it to do, and if it didn't meet your expectations, why do you think
it didn't meet my expectations? Because I didn't market it right. I didn't promote it right.
What do you feel like you could have did better to market it?
Oh man, the videos, I had it going when I dropped We Shining.
Super Ray did that.
Super Ray did that. That's when Super Ray was popping, and I never did another video to that song. To that album. And the main song I was trying to do was California. And I ended up doing the video to California actually, but it was never the quality of We Shining, so I was never gonna put it out. And so I actually ended up doing, and to be honest, let me backtrack, because I did 2 videos to California. I actually shot a whole video to California.
At the room.
A real video.
You was at the room, wasn't
No, I was at Spinks, the titty bar.
you? You didn't shoot one when like you was like at the hotel?
No, I was in an apartment down on the Jeffersons. That's the second video.
Right.
TNB, my nigga Beezy, shout out to Beezy and Floss. They shot the first video, the first California. And California was actually shot before We Shining. And what happened was, shit, the business goes sour, and next thing you know, the video never comes out. But the video was dope. But it never comes out. Like, I don't even have it. You know what I'm saying? I still be asking Beezy to this day. He like, dog, that's on like 30 hard drives. I don't know which hard drive it's on, you know what I mean? But it's like, I need that video. But I didn't put I had the right engineer mix it, which was Wit. Niggas didn't hear that sound. I'm talking about everybody who was in the game or coming up in the game that you can name was listening to that CD, and all the reviews I was hearing was it's like some Jay-Z street shit, or it's top shelf, or it's too advanced, or it's dope, but niggas who knew our story knew what the fuck it was.
Mm-hmm.
And niggas who knew the game was like, dog, really know what he talking about.
Right.
And so it just wasn't, it was just so polished that I think that it went over a lot of niggas' heads. The basic niggas, if you ask me. Right. It went over a lot of niggas' heads. And so I think that, you know, I just think I didn't promote it the right way. And then we didn't have, you know, digital media back then when that came out.
It was just getting. It wasn't used as a marketing tool.
No, it wasn't used as a marketing tool. You only had like, you know, LimeWire and FrostWire and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have Spotify.
Instagram was just coming into.
I don't even think Instagram was around. Just Facebook. Facebook came first. Instagram came a couple years later. Like Instagram came like 13, I think.
Okay.
If I ain't mistaken, like 2013 is when Instagram came.
So it was just like basically marketing.
It was just basically like the marketing. You had to really, because we were still pressing up CDs then.
I remember.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't have no USB drives and going like you was pressing up CDs. So I think I pressed up like 1,200, 1,300 CDs, and all of them had, you know, it was gone, and kept some and went like we went out to Texas. For the, what was that we went out there for?
South by Southwest.
South by Southwest. You know, remember we selling CDs.
Right, that's a motherfucking.
That's a whole nother.
That's a story in itself right there.
Period. So it's like
22-hour drive.
22-hour drive, man. Just because this is what we love to do. In the Hummer, gone, bro. Like.
Try to order hoes off Backpage.
Period.
You know, me and Roy.
All the way 100.
Me and Roy sat out in the parking lot with a hoe like 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm talking about this bitch was a dope head, boy. That was funny as hell. That was funny. That bitch said, "Stop calling me. I'm not your goddamn auntie." Say, goddamn auntie shit.
That shit was crazy, man. It was wicked, bro.
But yeah, give me your top 5 Detroit artists all time. It ain't gotta be all your favorite Detroit artists, top 5. Because everybody do the top 5 industry. Fuck the industry right now.
I'm not gonna do it in no order. I'll just give you the 5.
Mm-hmm.
Juan.
Mm. That's fucked up. A nigga can't name 5 Detroit artists.
Royce.
Okay. Now you cheating. Well, go ahead.
No.
Royce. He's from Detroit.
Okay.
2.
Royce. I fuck with Peasy, man. I fuck with Peasy.
3.
Shit. You want me to give you my 5?
Your favorite. Ain't my favorite. Ain't your favorite. Ain't nobody's favorite. It's yours.
Yeah, shit.
So we got Juan, Royce, Peasy,
Blade.
Oh.
I gotta put my nigga Ro in there, man.
That's fire.
Gotta put my nigga Ro in there.
Let me see. So we got Ro.
Oh shit! Hold on, wait. I'm sorry. You know what? I had to take Peasy off and put Herc right there. I'm high as fuck. I'm tripping.
Mm-hmm.
Herc definitely goes there. So we got Juan, Herc, Royce, Ro, and I need one more.
He said, say it again. Ro, Juan, Herc,
Royce, Juan, Herc, Royce, Ro, Blade.
Wait, I will go no order. And I'm gonna be honest because it's my favorite.
It's your favorite.
I'm biased.
Very.
I'm gonna go with Herc, right?
Right.
And then the rest of my list is just 6 Mile niggas, bro. I got, honestly, to be real, I always tell them, Grip is my favorite Detroit artist, bro.
Dig
so
that.
I got Grip, Herc, Vez, Cash Kid, Mayface Ray. Nope, I'm gonna take Ray out and put me. I'm one of my favorite artists.
I'm definitely one of my favorite artists, bro. But if I have to take me out, and
no, don't take you out. Why you take you out? You from Detroit?
Then I'll put me before Blade.
All right. Yeah, that's top 5. Now I'm gonna make it easy. Well, this might not be easy. Give me your
I'll
top
put
5.
me before Roe. I'll put Blade, because Blade's a legend. I'll put me before Roe.
Give me your top 5 industry albums.
Blueprint.
Okay.
Southern Playalistic.
I was going to ask you about that because I remember you told me that was the first CD you ever bought.
That's the first tape I ever bought. I'm let me ever buy.
At the Bel Air Center, right?
Bel Air Music Record Outlet.
I remember
Outlet, 99 cents.
I be remembering stories, though.
Them and Starface.
So you got Blueprint, Southern Playalistic.
Blueprint, Southern Playalistic.
You know who you used to fuck with? That I remember you fucking with a lot? Devin the Dude.
Since you said it,
You definitely used to fuck with Devin the Dude.
Devin is my guy. What's called is my favorite. One of my favorite albums with Boo Boo on it. I can't think of the name of the album. It's where he's sitting on the toilet, smoking a blunt. But that's one of my favorite albums. Devin the Dude. That's 3. It's between the truth and the reason. It's between one of them. Okay. Doggy Style and Chronic.
You gonna put them together?
No. Can I put them together?
Sure. It's like the Doggy Style is just a remix.
Right, it's just a remix of Chronic. So, and then I go.
That's 5, bro.
That is?
Yeah, you said. Blueprint, Southern Playalistic, Devin the Dude shit. Either The Reason or The Truth.
Beans, right.
And then Snoop and Dre.
Right.
You really gave me 7.
I could have gave you 10. You should have told me 10. Not
5 is easier.
If you got like The Fix, you know what I'm saying? You got Cocktails. You got Philadelphia Freeway. That first album was a classic. Nigga, you got motherfucking the Black Album.
What's your go-to album when it's time to create like an album? Like for me personally, I always gonna listen. Like before, when I used to rap, and I like make an album, I listen to Life After Death.
That's oh damn, I forgot about Big.
Yeah, forgot about Big.
I can't put all you niggas in top 5. It's gotta be 10, bro. I'm sorry, I can't. But no, it used to like. I've never had like a Pacific album. Nigga, I'm from 7 Mile, nigga.
Dig that, nigga. Dig that. Or you just didn't know it was specific.
I know it's specific.
All right, let's get it.
My motherfucking weed chopped lips ain't letting me get the S out, nigga.
Maybe I should have had some water.
Bottom line.
You're right. I got you.
Anyway, dog.
Note that for my guest.
Specifically speaking.
Specifically speaking.
Specifically speaking.
Got you.
No, but when what was we talking about? That's weed. Big. But you were saying like, oh, I never had an album. You said an
album that you go to.
Right. So my thing was always just whoever I was listening to is just how I felt. So when I heard a beat, it's like, damn, Snoop will sound dope on this bitch. I can write a song like Snoop on this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's how I created my shit.
Okay. If you could do anything differently in your career, what would it be? Just one thing. Just one thing that you feel like would have changed the trajectory of everything. One thing.
Legendine sound with X.
I like that. I like that.
That would have changed the whole...
Everything.
Everything.
That would have changed everything. That was fire. And before we get out of here, give me your favorite Verdict moment. Since you've been around from the beginning, like you was the first nigga that took me to the studio. Your favorite moment.
Damn, bro.
You didn't rock shows with me.
I didn't rock shows. Like
you didn't flew. We didn't perform with Rakim.
I was about to say like shit like that. Like, bro, I'm gonna tell you like, whether you know it or not, those are some of the highlights of my career. You know what I'm saying? Was going on tour with you. Like performing for like having Rakim sit and watching our set. You know what I'm saying? Like us walking the like niggas in the game haven't did that shit, you feel me? And we were able to do it. I mean, I wish we could have really capitalized off that type of shit, But the experience, though, you know what I mean, was like, I was so grateful and humble for you taking me on that experience. Like, you didn't have to. You feel what I'm saying? And you like, nah, bro, I gotta have you.
I feel like I did, though. I mean, I want you to finish your story, but I definitely feel like I did, because when it comes to this music shit, when it comes to you and Paulie, I feel like I owe y'all niggas. You feel what I'm saying? Because just like, you didn't have to take me to the studio.
Real
Paulie
shit.
didn't have to invest and do the
Real
shit
shit.
that he did. You feel what I'm saying? It's just like, y'all two niggas actually, y'all gave me the platform to be who I was in my mama house. You feel what I'm
Real
saying?
shit.
So it's just like, I wasn't comfortable on stage if you weren't there with me. You feel what I'm saying?
And for me to be like already an established artist at that time, already having music out, already still trying to pursue my career, and to be like my little bro hype man, like I didn't give a fuck about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was on stage. Like it was to the point where I remember Paulie pulled me back on stage before we performed one day. I want to say it was at St. Andrews. I want to say it was the Warren G concert.
Was that a one-hit wonder, Warren G?
Oh, Warren G.
Damn!
I want to say, and he was like, "Hey, look, you know this is Verdict show. Like, try not to, be." He's like, "You can be class, but don't be class."
I remember that.
You know what I mean? I'm like, how am I supposed to not do that? You know what I mean? Like, I only know one thing, how to perform, and it's like, I was never trying to outshine my little bro. It was just like, nigga, you put me on stage, I only know one mode.
One more, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
This is what I'm born to do this shit. Like, so it's like, bro got to catch up with me and get this shit going, and we can make a hell of a show together.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I had to learn that too, and be like, you know what? And I did scale up and like, this is bro set. Let me let bro rock his set. This is Verdict set. And it was just my passion. Like every time we chill, I'm like, bro, how many minutes I got? How many songs can I do? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so thank God that you want to be Hollywood V and go do wardrobe changes in your set and all that shit. Because in between all of that, I can rock the stage.
I was
like,
just about to
bet.
say,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
remember, I used to, nigga used to have like a 10-minute set,
for
bro.
real.
And I used to be like, all right, I'm going to do 2 songs and then I'm going to go to the back and change clothes and shit.
Like, you got 2 minutes. What, nigga? I got 2 minutes, nigga. I'm trying to fit every song I got, nigga, in the book in 2 minutes, nigga.
That Chicago show was fire.
That Chicago show was lit.
I'm
bro.
talking about the one we did at the
Omen.
Yeah, with Omen. Yeah. That show was fire.
Omen, nigga.
The Connecticut show, that was cool, but remember I had that motherfucking ear infection, bro. Like that shit was horrible.
But I think that was just more. I think I said like those moments with you, bro, was like dumb as timeless. I mean, like classic moments. I always talk about them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Always big. Like, bro, at the end of the day, when it comes to lyrical niggas, bro, you hold the crown with it. Like,
I did.
Your whole concept of it, the way you thought about shit. You know, you was Lupe before it was a Lupe. You was a lot of these niggas. You was a Kendrick before it was a Kendrick.
I'm gonna give you Kendrick. I wasn't
Okay.
a Lupe before Lupe.
You was a Lupe fan.
I was a Lupe fan for sure.
You was definitely a Lupe fan.
But I was definitely Kendrick before.
You know, you was definitely a Kendrick before Kendrick.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I can tell you, you was Cole before Cole. Seriously.
Okay.
Seriously. Seriously.
And it's crazy, like, before we get out of here, like I said, I want to show you appreciation. I want to pay homage. No pun intended. You feel what I'm saying? Pay homage to Big Bro.
That was the second album, by the way.
That was the second that we didn't get to.
This is my fourth EP, my fourth album, or whatever you want to call it, by the way, that I'm actually, but whatever.
But like I said, like, you've been there. You first nigga to take me to the studio, taught me how to do hooks.
Real shit.
Taught me how to do hooks.
Real hook king.
Nah, to where I ain't gonna 3D the hook king, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
R&B.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. Taught me how to do hooks, which is important now because with me writing for people, I know how to transition into a hook. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my first car, like I said, always been there when I needed.
What car was that, bro?
My Mark 8.
The gray one.
My Mark 8.
I was wondering what the fuck happened to that goddamn car.
Yeah, you sold it. You sold me a lemon.
That bitch was definitely a fucking lemon.
But like I said, appreciate you.
That bitch looked good from the outside, though.
Yeah,
I kept the rims
horrible.
clean.
Appreciate you, bro. Love you. Thanks
Love
for
you
being
too,
there.
nigga, for sure, bro. You know it,
Yeah.
man.
That's episode 7 of What's the Verdict Show.
Oh, it's episode 7, and I'm on episode 7. He think he a genius, nigga. You shout out to all my 7 Mile niggas,
6 Mile,
my East Side niggas, my 6 Mile niggas, my 8 Mile niggas, man. Shout out to the D period, bro. Class in session is on the way. End of this month. I don't know when this motherfucking session is.
You can't get no feature from me. I ain't doing no feature.
I didn't even ask you for a feature. It's already done. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
So, you know, fuck V for not doing the EP with us together, and I'm gonna say that shit on camera for the last time, so everybody know that
it's
fuck
coming.
him for
Sibling
not doing
rivalries,
the EP.
bro, coming
Sibling
soon,
rivalries coming fucking
2025.
soon. Nigga, no.
Yeah. We out. East side.
Coming to you live from the city that don't play no games. Just waiting on the verdict. Fuck your trials and your tribulations, ain't nothing gon' change. So we reach the verdict. I know you've been deliberating on this for so long. Here goes the verdict. I bring you the verdict. And here goes the B-E-R-D-I-C-T. B-E-R-D-I-C-T. The B-E-R-D-I-C-T. The B-E-R-D-I-C-T.